Over the summer a bunch of friends of mine and I went to this guy's lake house to get away from our North Carolina homes for a while. We drove out and when we got there, we bought a bunch of pool noodles from the Walmart. We're all 18 to 22, so we wanted to kinda relive childhood I guess and get kids toys. You know how you could put water in the pool noodles, and blow in one end and shoot water out the other end? Well, we started playing this game where we would have two people blow into each end at the same time, and whoever had the weaker lungs would get blasted in the face with water. After a couple goes at this, I had won most of the rounds since I'm a 19-year-old choir kid fighting smokers, but I started to feel lightheaded. With my round against my friend Laura, I felt something pop in my head and that's the last thing I remember. Apparently, the reason my friends didn't see me go under is because she started screaming about being lightheaded, but they soon noticed I was gone and started kicking around for me. We were out really deep, and I sunk like a rock. All I remember is everything was brown, and then really white. There was a man with an Indiana Jones hat, who did nothing but stare at me. I don't know if this was God, or Indiana Jones, but whoever it was wherever I was with me. The next thing I remember my friend Brian was on top of me and I threw up mud and water all over the ground. They had pulled me out of the lake. I was shaken up, but I didn't make a huge deal out of it since I was safe. We all decided to go back home that night. The next morning I got up for work and went to the bathroom. I had the biggest headache in the entire world, and could barely see. I could feel my heartbeat in my head. I looked over at the mirror, and the entire right side of my head was purple. I called for my mom, and lost consciousness. The rest is according to her. She rushed me to the hospital in an ambulance where they announced me dead on arrival. I had burst a blood vessel in my head blowing into the noodle, and had a slow brain bleed. I was dead for approximately 10 minutes. They kept trying to revive me. For this part, there was no man again. I don't remember anything but black, and eventually got activity in my brain and heart I guess. According to my parents, I was fully awake at 11 a.m. that morning, but the first thing I can recall is sitting in my dad's red reclining chair at 7 p.m. that night with a bowl of chili in my lap. All the hours before that are a blur like coming back from getting your wisdom teeth out. My mother has a death certificate for me and a toe tag which she keeps in my baby book, as a memory of what almost was. I can prove this happened if you want. I'll leave a comment of the huge get well soon card my friends made for me upon release from the hospital. Alright, this happened to me a couple years back, when I was still in university. My girl had recently dumped me, so my insomnia had kicked in full speed ahead. I was bored and lonely, and started taking to late night drives in my parents' minivan, a good old Dodge Caravan. A cute red-headed friend of mine often accompanied me on these trips. Bless her for keeping me company. It was about 2 or 3 a.m., and we were driving around a suburb near the all-female college in town. This particular suburb, and the college, is right next to a wildlife conservation area. Well, I stop for a stop sign at AT Junction. I'm heading straight through, and the road ahead goes for maybe 50 meters, then makes a right turn down a hill. Beyond the right turn are the buildings for the college. I glance to my right to see if anyone's coming. But then I see my friend's face when I do so, and damn, she's gone completely white, and her eyes are wide as saucers. Wondering what the hell she's looking at, I look forward, and holy friggin' hell. Crossing the street in front of me, maybe 20 meters ahead and illuminated from behind by a bright light from a building, is something tall, walking on two legs, with a goddamn mane of hair. And it was walking so smooth. I'll never forget it, it almost glided across the road. There was no head bob. Being the adventurous soul that I was then, I actually went in pursuit. I drove forward and made a left into the parking lot. The parking lot is for the college, and behind it is the conservation area. But just as I was fumbling around for a flashlight to go after the thing, my friend, probably wisely, grabbed my arm, and refused to let me go. I'll always wonder what I saw that night. Even creepier, it turned out to be a full moon. Go figure. I probably would have dismissed what I saw as my own imagination, but I can't really do that when I'm not the only one that saw something out there.